There's a report that June 2016, there's a FISA request by the Obama administration, Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, to monitor communications involving Donald Trump and several other campaign officials. Then they get turned down, and then in October they renew it, and they do start a wiretap at Trump Tower with some computer and Russian banks, and it just doesn't show up anything by reporting. Have you heard that?
Well, again, and like I said, none of us in Congress, or anybody that I know in Congress, has been presented with evidence.
From Brett Baier's mouth to Donald Trump's desperate, angry, tweeting fingers. That probably is the source of Donald Trump's tweet. What we know from the Senate Intelligence Committee was that it was not anyone in the government of the United States. That's what the committee said today. That the President of the United States did not use any of the resources available to him to confirm any of the words in that tweet. That the President of the United States at 6:35 a.m. on Saturday, March 4th, acted willfully and recklessly in tweeting lies about President Obama. Donald Trump is the most deviant man ever to live in the White House. He has had 44 predecessors. They have established a norm for presidential conduct. Donald Trump deviates from virtually every one of those norms except wearing the necktie to work. Donald Trump is a disgrace. He is an embarrassment to the presidency. He violated his oath of office when he put out that lying tweet. He violated that oath to faithfully execute the office of President of the United States. Donald Trump is a disgrace and an embarrassment to the party that gave him its nomination as a candidate for president. He is a daily disgrace and embarrassment to the majority party in the House of Representatives and the Senate. Here is how the Speaker of the House dealt with that embarrassment today when Chuck Todd asked him how much damage the president's reckless lying tweet about President Obama has done to presidential credibility.
Look, I'll say what I've said for months now. It's going to be an unconventional presidency. Twitter is new. Twitter and Facebook and all of these things. We, as Americans, as just society, haven't fully processed this new system we have. And the president's, it's going to be an unconventional presidency. Let me just say, it's going to be an unconventional presidency. I'm not going to go out there and sort of justify and defend every tweet that's out there. Heck, there's 20 a day for all I know.
Twitter is new. That's the new defense. Twitter is 11 years old. It will actually have its 11th birthday next week. Donald Trump has been on Twitter for 8 years. High school math is much harder than Twitter, and they give you 4 years to master that. Here is a picture of the very first American president to use Twitter on the day he met the second American president to use Twitter. President Obama was active on Twitter throughout his presidency. He started on Twitter so long ago, he looked like this when he sent his first tweet. Since he started on Twitter in 2007, at the beginning of his first presidential campaign, President Obama has sent over 15,000 tweets, and not one of those tweets has been the subject of a Senate Intelligence Committee investigation. Not one of President Obama's tweets has provoked Congress to demand an explanation from the director of the FBI. Not one of President Obama's tweets has been worthy of a single segment of cable news coverage. Not one of President Obama's tweets has ever made the front page of a newspaper. That is how deviant Donald Trump is. As soon as I saw that tweet that he sent out about President Obama, I felt I had observed enough Donald Trump to confidently leap immediately to the conclusion, as I did on Twitter, that that tweet was based on absolutely nothing, that it was a complete lie. And last night he confessed. Donald Trump confirmed that I was right. That it was the Saturday morning tweet of a deviant president who has no idea what the fact is, the single most dangerous mind ever to have access to the nuclear codes. The Trump presidency has become an emergency of vigilance. Vigilance in defense of the truth. Resistance to Trump lies. And the Trump presidency is now losing that battle. The Trump presidency's fight to defend its lies in the White House press briefing room or on Fox News is now failing. The president has been exposed by Republicans. He's been exposed by Republicans and Democrats working together in Congress to expose him for the deviant liar that he is. Trump took to Fox News last night to defend himself. He is so unbalanced that he ended up confessing. After all of that lying, days and days of lying, that Sean Spencer was trying to do for him in the White House press briefing room, the president turned himself in to Tucker Carlson, exposed himself as the raging buffoon who wakes up on a Saturday morning and with the nuclear codes in his pocket tweets lies about the 44th president of the United States. On this one, Republicans found their limit. Some of them. They got mad as hell at Donald Trump and they weren't going to take it anymore. Not on this one. Not on this line. And that is where tonight's hope lies. Republican senators and House members stepped forward, finally, showing no fear whatsoever of President Trump and did everything they could to expose his lie. That's the first time we've seen that happen. And tonight there is every reason to hope that it will not be the last time. Joining us now, Eugene Robinson, Pulitzer Prize-winning opinion writer for the Washington Post, and MSNBC political analyst, also real estate from senior editor for The Atlantic. Gene, the confession last night on